Yeah, I'm half asleep.
Yes, make sure they're all pen 2s.
Make sure they're everything but.
Just kidding.
You want more yellow?
Thank you. Go all round. All right, so the tennis tip of the week is for you to have a plan when you're returning serve. My experience is way too many players go out to return serve with no idea what they're planning to do. They're totally reactive, and I am encouraging you to be proactive. There are basically 4 shots that you have to consider when you're returning serve. The most obvious is the cross-court shot. So if I'm returning serve from here, cross-court would be over there, totally away from the net player and back to the server's corner. Option number 2 is down the middle. It's a little risky if you've got an opponent at the net that likes to poach. Option number 3 is if the net player is poaching a lot, go down the alley. Who knows what the 4th option is?
Overhead.
A lob over the net player's head. The beauty of the lob is that it takes the net player out of the point, regardless of whether his intention was to poach or not poach. Sometimes Murphy's Law is such that every time you go cross court, he's poaching, and every time you go down the line, he's standing there waiting. So if you're going to be bothered by him and he's got your number all figured out, just lob the return. If you lob the return, doesn't matter what he does. It takes him out of the point. Okay? Anybody have any questions about anything? Words of wisdom. These are gems, so pay attention. The tip of the night has to do with when you're playing the net and your partner's serving. I see a lot of people in a ready position that's not as ready as they could be or should be. Specifically, some people will play the net with their feet like this when your partner's serving to the deuce box. 85% of the returns are going to be down the middle, on the other side. So if this person has this stance, they're at a tremendous disadvantage to try to get their forehand on the ball coming down the middle. This stance would be fine on that side, but it's totally wrong on this side. This is how they should be on this side, or head on to the net, face on. Also, regarding the grip, the same thing. You should be anticipating if you're right-handed, on this side of the court, you should be anticipating a forehand volley, not a backhand volley. That's not to say he won't go down your alley, but that's a low percentage and less often hit ball. So when I play the net here, I get a forehand grip in my ready position, anticipating that 85 to 90% of my shots are going to be on the forehand side. However, when I play the ad side and my partner's serving to the ad box, my ready position includes a backhand grip, because that player is going to hit 85 to 90% of his shots to my backhand. So just anticipating the stance and the grip, which side the ball is more likely to go on, is going to save you valuable time in reacting to the volley. So if you've never thought about that before, think about it tonight. Anybody? Yes, Jim.
I think I know the answer. I think it's obvious, but I'm going to ask anyway. Same exact thing for a lefty?
Yeah, same thing for a lefty. And we have a couple of southpaws in the group. So when the lefties are playing here and the partner's serving to the deuce side, that lefty should be anticipating the ball more likely to be on their backhand side and less likely to be a forehand. Not to say that he'll never go down the alley.
So stance-wise?
So, well, I believe in head-on, face-on.
Okay, good.
But recently, one of our advanced players who played this past weekend, it was an advanced woman player, she stands like this. And that was fine for the other side,
Right,
but it's a big disadvantage this side. She stands the same on both sides. So.
But no problem with this?
No problem facing head-on.
Okay.
But I would certainly adjust the grip. whether you're one-handed or two-handed, because the ball is much more likely to come to your forehand or to the middle than it is to the alley. Jeff?
Do you back up on a second serve?
It depends on who you're playing against. If there's a headhunter on the other side and he keeps notches on his racket, I would back up a few steps.
Just a few steps.
Yeah.
Not to play on the base.
If necessary, go all the way back. The time I'd be inclined to go all the way back is if my opponent's a very good lobber and he keeps lobbing over my head and my poor partner is starting to trip over his own tongue point after point trying to get to the ball, then I'd come all the way back. You eliminate that problem immediately. Okay, everybody good?